Ladies, what's the brokest thing a guy has ever done around you?
Okay, I look extremely crazy, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so in I think 2017, I had met this guy one time at my friend's house, and this guy was like, "Oh, he wants us to go out, like we should go on a date." So I was like, "I bet, no problem." So he says we should go on Friday, right? Friday comes, and he's like, "Oh, he's gonna come pick me around 7." I was like, "Okay, no problem." I was chilling, and then he texted me, and he's like, "Oh, he's outside." I go outside, but then there was somebody in the passenger seat. He had a friend in the passenger seat. And so I walk up to like his side of the door and he's like, "Oh, hey, like he just needs to go drop off his friend real quick and then we're gonna go," because we had plans to go watch a movie. So he's like, "Okay, we're just gonna drop off my friend and then we're gonna watch a movie." And then as we're going to go like drop off his friend, he ends up being like, "Oh, I have somebody else that I need to go pick up and then I'm gonna go drop them in the same place." And my man, I was just like, like, guy, didn't you not say that we're meant to go and watch a movie? Like, what are all these extras? What are all these extras? So by the time we finally make it to like where he wanted to drop his friends off, and then we drive back to the cinema, the doors are fucking closed. So bitch, I can't watch my motherfucking movie. So I was like, okay, if we're not watching the movie, then like, I want to go home. Like, there's really no point, us just looking at ourselves. And he's like, "Oh no, like let's just spend the time we would use to watch the movie to like get to know ourselves better." Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, "Okay, no problem, but look, I'm kind of hungry. Like, can we go to McDonald's?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, let's go." So like obviously we're driving. So we go to McDonald's and then I order like a drink and a burger. I didn't order shit for this nigga because you already ruined my motherfucking night, bitch. The movie I wanted to watch, I didn't watch it. So I didn't order shit for him, right? So I ordered my fucking drink and my burger. So I ordered my drink and my burger, right? And I pay with cash. So I give him the cash, obviously give the lady at like the fucking whatever. So as the lady was like handing back my change was probably like $5 and like 220, so like $9 in general. As she was giving him back the change to give to me, the way the guy held the change, it was looking as if I was not going to get the change back. So the lady gives him the change, and this guy actually collects the change and squeezes it and puts it in like his glove compartment. So I look at him and I'm like, "Bro, are you not gonna give me my change?" And he's like, "Honestly, I'm kind of broke right now. Like, is it okay if I could just take the $9 and just hold on to it?" I was looking at him and I was just like, "Okay, so how are you going to afford to go for this fucking movie if you cannot even, like, if you're asking me for $9 in change?" I was so confused. I was like, "This is some broke boy behavior. This is disgusting. This is..."
Ladies, what's the brokest thing a guy has done to you on a date?
So, a few years ago, I went on a date with this guy that I knew through mutual friends. I had known him for a few years. I was attracted to him. We had had like a little mild flirtation for years, but it just seemed like we were never single at the same time. So, whatever. I decided that I would go on a date with him. So, his first mistake was being like, "Hey, I would love to take you out sometime. Can I take you to dinner?" We had like been kind of texting. And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love that." And then he's like, "Okay, well, where do you want to go?" Bitch, I hate that. Little bit of advice for men. If you're going to ask a woman out on a date, like have enough initiative to be like, "I'm going to plan the date," or "I'm going to surprise you and take you to do this or take you to do that." I mean, it's fine if you ask her like, "What do you like to eat? What's your favorite food?" And then planning accordingly, but just being like, "Okay, well, where do you want to go?" Like, we don't want to plan the first date if you asked us out. That is ridiculous. So anyways, he took me to Jose Peppers, which it's like, that's fine. Like, I love Mexican food, whatever. And so we sit down, we order our margaritas, we have our food. And by the way, the whole time he's talking about his ex and how he cheated on her. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, why the fuck am I here? So then the waitress comes back and she's like, "Can I get you guys boxes? Are you guys ready for the check?" And he's like, "Let's do tequila shots." And I'm like, "All right, fuck it. I mean, we're at Jose Peppers, but whatever. Let's rip some shots." So we get tequila shots. And when she comes back, he's like, "And those are on separate tabs, the shots." And I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, "Oh, I'm paying for myself." So then I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a date? Like, you're flirting with me. I don't understand this. Like, and I'm fine to pay for myself, but like, I don't know. It seemed weird to me. So whatever, I paid for myself. I was ready to go home after listening to him talk about his ex for an hour. Huge red flag. There were so many red flags, but whatever. So we get in the car and he drives me home. And this motherfucker has the audacity to get out of the car after I get out and thinks he's coming inside. Bitch, I just paid for my own dinner, my own tequila shot that I didn't even like because you got well tequila with your cheap ass that I had to pay for. And then you want to come inside with me? Oh, God, you got me so fucked up. Not only are you not getting any of this, but you're not getting a kiss. And I just hugged him and I said, see ya, thanks for dinner, bye. To this day, he texts me and tries to get me to go out with him. And I'm just like, I'd rather go out by myself. I don't want to go out and listen to you talk about your ex that you're probably still in love with, that you cheated on, and then pay for my own dinner whenever you're trying to flirt with me. And then you try to get some at the end of the night. I'm good. Thanks, though.
Okay, so I seen this post that said, what's the brokest thing a nigga ever did to you? And I'm finna expose myself. And let me remind y'all that I was 18 years old. Never would I allow this shit now. So after hanging out with this dude, he's getting ready to drop me back off at home. And he's like, are you hungry? I'm like, yeah, I could eat. So he pulls up to Farmer Boys. Dude asked me what I want. I said breakfast burrito. He gets the same thing. He gets extra everything though. So we pull up to the window, and he looks at me and says, "Bring your card." She's a very lovely person. Where my card? Where my card? Where my card? I'm confused. Didn't you just ask me if I was hungry? And then not only that, you add extra shit on your shit, and you expect me to pay? I gave him my card though, and I'm still ashamed about it. But that's broke as fuck. Why would you do that? Until this day, that same nigga be trying to spin the block. Boy, no! I will never fuck with you again.
Ladies, what's the brokest a guy has ever done around you?
Okay, there was this guy that was trying to talk to me for like over a year, trying to take me out, and I didn't want to go out with him because for some reason I didn't like him and I wasn't attracted to him. So I was like, I kept posting him, but I was like, okay, let me just give him a chance and see what he wants because he was consistent. So it was like, do you want to go see a movie, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, sure. He was so happy. He was like, yeah, I'm finally get to see you and stuff like that. So the day of the movie, it was like, I was like doing my makeup, like it was like 30 minutes before the time we planned, and he was like, oh, I just checked your address and you're like an hour away from me. I don't know if I can make it. Do you want to meet up there? Because I already had my makeup done, I was like, okay, sure, let's just go since I'm already ready. So on my way there, it was like, how far are you? I'm like, I'm about 10 minutes away. It was like, oh, I'm still on my way. I'm about 20 minutes away. Can you get the tickets before I get there? So since you're getting there before me, I'll cash up you. I didn't think twice. I was like, okay, sure, no problem. So I got to the theater. I got the tickets and everything. Then he came. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. He apologized and he was like, what's your cash up? I was like, not now. Let's just go watch the movie since the movie started. So watch the movie. Mind you, I got my snacks. Like I brought like a tiny, if you know the tiny can of Coke, I got it. Like this size. This is how small the Coke is. So I got it for me and I was drinking it. Mind you, this man grabbed my Coke, my tiny ass Coke, and drank from it. I was like, that isn't all. I was like, what the fuck? I just gave it to him because, first of all, there is COVID. Why would you want to share a drink with someone and you're having to use your mouth, no straw? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to let that slide. I just need red flag. So when the movie was done, he escorted me to my car and stuff like that, and we said our goodbyes. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see you again, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. Now, as soon as I got into my car, I texted him my cash app and the total amount of the movie. No response. So I was like, okay, probably he's still driving and stuff like that. I get home. I texted him. I just got home. No response. Then I texted him again. Huh? No response. This man did not text me back. I texted him the next day. I was like, where's my money? No response. To this day, this man has not texted me back, has not given me my money. scammed me for $15. $15. Like, I was like, bro, the money is not the problem. It's the, like,
What's the brokest thing a guy has done around you?
It's definitely my time to shine. Okay, y'all. Hold on, let me finish this break. Added the pony for drama. But anyways, okay, so basically, my ex, right? We went to this seafood boil place. And like we at the table or whatever, he was like he had never been here before, you know. I didn't assume that he had never had a seafood boil before. Anyway, so you know, it's nothing wrong with, you know, never having a seafood boil before. Like, you know, cool, come on, babe, let me take you, you know, we could go eat. So yeah, we sitting at the table, and he like, it's fire. You know, I'm not really looking up because, you know, we at the seafood boil place, and I'm a healthy girl. I like to eat. So, you know, I'm paying attention to my food. But anyways, I eventually look up at him. He like, oh, it's so good. And I'm seeing him going at the shrimps, right? And, you know, depending on, like, what you get and what places you at, everybody don't de-shell the shrimp. So I'm just looking at him, and he's putting the whole shelled shrimp in his mouth. I know some people do this in some, like, places or, like, some cultures eat shrimp and stuff with the shell on. But what are you doing? And then he tries to dig into the crab legs, don't know what to do. Keep in mind, like, we're, like, 23, like... I don't know, am I wrong for just thinking this is broke, or was this broke? Because, baby boy, how don't you know? He put the whole shelled crab in his mouth, y'all. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. Sir. Cause like, who am I to stop him? He was really enjoying it at the same time. So it's like, but anyways, that was probably some of the craziest shit I seen a guy do around me. So.
Alright, child. So the question is, ladies, what is the brokest thing a guy has ever done around you? Okay. So one time my friend had invited me out to go to this little party or whatever with her, like by her house or whatever. So we go to a party or whatever, and the guy that I'm talking to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there or whatever. You talking about such and such little party, I'm gonna be there. So I'm like, alright, bet. So the whole time I'm there, like hours go by, I don't see him or whatever, I don't hear from him or nothing. I texted him like, hey, where you at? You know, whatever the case may be. And my friend like, all right, friend, like, it's getting late, you ready to go home or whatever? I'm like, yeah. So it's like 11 or 10 at night or whatever. So I'm finna call me a lift so I can go home, because I was just like, he's dead or whatever. You know, my friend finna go to the house, I'm just finna go home. So the guy texts me like, hey, where you at? You know, I just came back over here or whatever. Like, I still want to see you, I still want to hang out. So I tell my friend like, all right, friend, I'm gonna just stay a little bit. And she like, you sure? Because I'm finna go to the house or whatever. You good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good or whatever, you know. And she was like, call me if you need anything, you know, I'll come back or whatever the case may be, or I'm gonna come outside or whatever, because she lived like right there. So I'm like, all right, I got you. So I'm with the guy or whatever, and we chilling, we hanging out, we vibing or whatever. But it get like midnight or like 12:30, something like that. And like the whole party is like, you know, it's down and down, everybody going home or whatever the case may be. I'm like, all right then, yeah, I'm about to go home too. And I'm like, all right, you gonna call your peoples or whatever? But he was like, I came with my homie or whatever. Like, we got dropped off. I'm like, oh, okay. So his homie come. His homie like, you know, like, what we finna do? How we finna get home or whatever? They don't stay too far. We stay on Watts. They stay in Compton. And they like, yeah, you know, what we finna do? He like, I don't know. Like, I'm finna see something or whatever. I'm like, why did you stay out so late if you don't have a ride home? He like, how you get home? I'm like, I'm about to call myself a Lyft or an Uber. And he was like, oh, can you just Uber me and my homie to my house? He was like, you know what, nah, it's cool. Like, I ain't even gonna ask you or whatever, you know. We'll just walk. I'm like, walk? You cannot walk from here to there. Like, what the fuck? And he was like, yeah, I don't even be asking people for shit, but can you just, like, you know, Uber me there? So I was like, all right. So he tell his homie, like, come on, she gonna lift us or Uber us or whatever. And he like, all right, she gonna send me a lift to my house. And he like, no, dummy, like, you live right by me or whatever. I'll just put it to your house and not walk from there or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. What the fuck? It was crazy, dude. Like, I still didn't even take that as a red flag. I still end up talking to him, bro.
Ladies, stitch this. What's the brokest thing a man has ever done around you? I'll go first. This boy came to church with me because he wanted to impress me so bad. But then, when it was time to take the offering, he asked me to put money in a basket for him.
Ladies, what is the brokest thing a guy has ever done around you?
So, I was dating this guy. We had went on several dates. He was cool. I liked him, whatever. But I was also, like, very busy at the time. And actually, I was in the process of moving. So, he had hit me up one day because we hadn't been able to see each other. And he was like, can I come see you? And I was like, I'm literally in the process of moving. Like, stacking, packing, loading, the whole nine. He was like, that's cool. Like, I just want to see you. And I was like, all right, you can come by. But I'm be working. So he ends up coming by, and literally I'm like running back and forth from the room, packing, stacking, loading, unloading, like I am moving. And this motherfucker, not only did he not help, like he just stood there like a lost puppy the whole time, but I ended up leaving because I had to go drop a load off. And I was like, all right, I'm about to leave. Like, you need to leave too. I'll see you later. He's like, all right, cool. So I went my separate way, went to separate way, whatever. I went back to the house because I was in the process of moving, so I had more stuff to do. And I had this big box of like the large, good, heavy-duty black trash bags that I was using. And I couldn't find them motherfuckers anywhere. Like, I was looking all over, like, where are my trash bags? So I ended up hitting him up. Like, I texted him, like, yo, did you by chance see some black trash bags? Yo, why did he be like, oh, yeah, I took them. I thought everything you had left behind was, like, trash. So I took it. I'm like, sir, why would you take trash bags? Why would you take them? I don't understand.
What's the brokest thing a man has ever done to you?
What's the brokest thing a man has ever done to you or whatever? And it just made me think about this one time. I was on a date with my sugar daddy, and we went to the mall, we went shopping, and he bought me like clothes, and he bought me a laptop, and he bought me like some sunglasses from like Coach or something. I don't know, whatever. It got time for me to leave, and I was like, yeah, so can I have some money? And he was like, what? I'm like, can I have $500? And he was like, I just spent all this money on you. If you want $500, here's the receipt to that laptop I just bought you. You can go return it. Excuse me? If you're broke, just say that.